everyone, I'm Sahiti from IIT Tirupati. Today I'm going to teach nucleophilic substitution reactions. Let us first understand what a nucleophilic substitution reaction is. In a nucleophilic substitution reaction, a nucleophile displaces the leaving group of the substrate. Let us suppose this is our nucleophile and this is our substrate. This is the leaving group. So when the nucleophile attacks the substrate, it results in a new product. Let us take an example. We have the hydroxide ion which is acting as the nucleophile, and we have methyl iodide which is the substrate. Here the iodide ion is the leaving group. So whenever the nucleophile attacks the substrate, it gives in the new product resulting methyl alcohol and iodide ion. So what is a nucleophile? A nucleophile is a Lewis base. It may be negatively charged or a neutral molecule. A Lewis base can be negatively charged or neutral molecule, but it must contain an unshaded pair of electrons. So let us see what happens if our nucleophile is negatively charged. If a nucleophile is negatively charged, like the hydroxide ion, it results directly in a neutral product. For example, let us take the same example again. So when the hydroxide ion reacts with methyl iodide, it directly gives methyl alcohol. That is, it directly gives a neutral product. But if we take a neutral nucleophile such as a water molecule, when it reacts with methyl iodide, it first forms a positively charged product. It first forms a positively charged product, and then after deprotonation, we will get the neutral product, which is an alcohol. So deprotonation step is always required to complete the reaction when the nucleophile is a neutral molecule. So this is important. And let us understand what is a leaving group. A leaving group is the one which is relatively stable and weakly basic after it leaves the substrate. So a leaving group is said to be a good leaving group if after it leaves the substrate it is relatively stable and weakly basic. For example, the halide ions are good leaving groups since they are the conjugate bases of the strong acids HX. Since HX is a strong acid, its conjugate base X minus is a weak Lewis base. So X minus is a good leaving group. Now we have understood what is a leaving group, what is a good leaving group, and what is a nucleophile and the types of nucleophiles. So now let us understand what is an SN2 reaction. In SN2, S represents substitution, N represents nucleophilic, and this 2 says that it is a bimolecular reaction. So the kinetics of a SN2 reaction are: SN2 reaction is a second order reaction and it is a bimolecular reaction. That is, in the rate determining step, 2 molecules are involved. So we can write the rate of this reaction as K times concentration of the substrate, concentration of the nucleophile. So an SN2 reaction is a bimolecular reaction and a second order reaction. That is, in the rate determining step, two molecules are involved. So let us take an example of this SN2 type reaction. Hydroxide ion, when reacts with methyl chloride, gives methyl alcohol plus chloride ion. Now let us look at the mechanism of the reaction. Here the negatively charged hydroxide ion attacks the partially positively charged carbon atom from the back side with respect to the leaving group, that is chlorine here. This results in the formation of a transition state in which a bond between oxygen and carbon is partially forming and the bond between carbon and chlorine is partially breaking. Here, the configuration of the carbon atom begins to inverse, and in the final product, the bond between oxygen and carbon is completely formed and the configuration of the carbon is also inverted. So in any SN2 type of reaction, the final product will be inverted in configuration. Now let us understand the effect of temperature on the rate of SN2 reaction. So the rate of SN2 reaction highly depends on temperature. As the temperature increases, the number of collisions between the molecules increases. As a result, the rate of SN2 reaction increases. And for every 10 degrees rise in temperature, the rate becomes twice the rate at normal temperature. Now coming to the stereochemistry of SN2 reaction. In the SN2 reaction, the nucleophile approaches the substrate, that is nothing but the carbon, from the back side with respect to the leaving group. As we saw in this case, the nucleophile always attacks the partially positively charged carbon atom from the back side with respect to the leaving group, which results in the inversion of the product. And this is also called as Walden inversion. Now let us take an example. Here we have cis 1-chloro-3-methyl cyclopentane. Since both the H's are at the same side, this is cis. Now if it reacts with the hydroxide ion attacks the carbon from back side with respect to the leaving group, that is chlorine atom. And this results in trans 3-methyl cyclopentanol. So we can see that the cis form has changed into trans form. So it is important to note that in an SN2 type of reaction, inversion is always seen. That is, the product is always inverted. Here is another example. This is R minus 2 bromooctane. Here R represents the absolute configuration and minus represents the optical rotation. It is nothing but the optical rotation of the polarized light. So here the OH minus ion attacks the partially positively charged carbon atom from backside with respect to the bromide ion, and this results in S plus 2 octanol. So here the absolute configuration and also the optical rotation both have been changed in the product. Now let us see SN1 type of reactions. Coming to the kinetics of SN1 type reactions, SN1 type reactions are first order reactions and unimolecular reactions. That is, in the rate determining step, only one molecule is involved. Let us take an example. Let us take tertiary butyl chloride. When it reacts with two water molecules, it gives tertiary butyl alcohol plus a hydronium ion along with a chloride ion. Now let us see the mechanism of this reaction. The mechanism includes 3 steps. In step 1, a carbocation is formed. So this is tertiary butyl chloride. This reaction takes place in the solvent water. So this is basically a solvolysis reaction. So it forms a carbocation. And this carbocation gets solvated by water molecules. This is the slow step and the rate determining step, and hence there is only one molecule getting involved in this rate determining step. The SN1 reaction is known as a unimolecular reaction. In this step, actually the chlorine atom takes away an electron pair, giving rise to carbocation. So the rate of the reaction depends on the stability of the carbocation formed in this step. In the next step, the water molecule acts as a Lewis base and it donates electron pair to the carbocation formed in the previous step. So the carbocation formed in the previous step was tertiary butyl cation. So the water molecule donates a lone pair of electrons to this cation. This is a fast reaction, fast step. So this produces tertiary butyl oxonium ion. So this is tertiary butyl oxonium ion. This is the carbocation and this is the tertiary butyl oxonium ion. This is tertiary butyl carbocation actually. So in the second step, the tertiary butyl carbocation converts into tertiary butyl oxonium ion in the presence of water. Here water acts as Lewis base by donating an electron pair. And in the third step, that is the last step, a water molecule accepts a proton from the tertiary butyl oxonium ion to produce tertiary butyl alcohol. So this was the tertiary butyl oxonium ion. A water molecule accepts the proton to form tertiary butyl alcohol along with hydronium ion. So this was the tertiary butyl oxonium and this is tertiary butyl alcohol. So these are the 3 steps involved in the mechanism of this reaction. Since in the rate determining step a carbocation is being formed, the rate of the reaction highly depends on the stability of the carbocation. So let us discuss about carbocations. Carbocations are trigonal planar. They are sp2 hybridized. So let us take an example. So this is a carbocation and the carbon is sp2 hybridized and it has a vacant p orbital. So carbocations are trigonal planar, sp2 hybridized and they contain a vacant p orbital. Now let us talk about the relative stabilities of carbocations. Tertiary carbocations are more stable than secondary carbocations, then primary than methyl carbocations. This order can be explained using hyperconjugation. The number of hyperconjugations possible in tertiary carbocation is more than secondary carbocation than primary carbocation, and hence the order of stability is tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary. Now let us talk about the stereochemistry of SN1 reactions. Since the carbocation formed in the first step of SN1 reaction has a trigonal planar structure, when it reacts with a nucleophile, it may attack either from the front side or from the back side. If we take the example of tertiary butyl cation, this makes no difference since there is no chiral center. Let us take the example once again. This is the tertiary butyl cation. Now, the water molecule can attack either from this side or from this side. In both the cases, the product will be the same. Because this is not a chiral center. Since this is not a chiral center, there is no change even if the water molecule attacks from the front side or from the back side. The same product will be formed. There will be a difference only if the carbocation has a chiral center. Let us take the example of S3-bromo-3-methyl-hexane. Here, the carbon atom is chiral. Since it has 4 different groups surrounding it, it is a chiral carbon atom. So when it reacts with water, that is here the solvent is acetone, and when it reacts with water, it gives both S and R products. S is formed 50% and R is formed 50%. This is called racemization. Racemization is nothing but a reaction that transforms an optically active compound into a racemic form. So here S has converted into S and R. S is formed 50% and R is 50%, leading to racemization. So this is all about SN1 and SN2 reactions. In the next video, let us see the factors affecting SN1 and SN2 reactions. We will discuss when SN1 reaction takes place and when SN2 reaction takes place with examples. And in the later videos, we will discuss about electrophilic reactions. Thank you.